You told me offline this is the beginning of the end. What do you mean by that?
The timing is right. Technology is mature enough. This is the beginning of the end for AGI to come into people's lives. ChatGPT's latest version, 4.0, I think 5 is coming. It's intelligent enough just to be like a real person almost. And The general intelligence is coming. It's coming. And it's coming through Apple products.
Apple was reportedly joining forces with OpenAI to insert a chatbot into iOS 18. This news came out this week. What does this mean for the consumers? What does this mean for Apple and ultimately the tech industry at large? Joining us today is Jerry Lee. He is the co-founder of Artela Network, and he was previously the head of R&D at Apple China. We'll be talking about his vision for what's next for tech, AGI, and Apple. Jerry, welcome to the show.
David, thanks for having me.
Jerry, let's talk first and foremost about, give us an introduction about you. So tell us about your involvement with Apple. And you told me offline you were the first head of their R&D department for China. So how did that happen? And what did you do for Apple?
I worked for Apple for 12 years in product design and engineering. Initially for Mac when Steve Jobs was still around and very much involved in product decision makings. And later on, I worked for iPhone for a few generations before moving back to China to start the R&D center for Apple. That was 2015. So we built the R&D team for Apple in China. So that team supported a lot of the engineering activities in China, working with the contract manufacturers like Foxconn. That turned out to be a very valuable asset for Apple later on, especially during COVID time. Then I myself moved on to other companies, and before founding my own company, Artela, which is a high performance base layer blockchain.
Interesting. Yeah, we'll talk a little bit about Artela towards the end as well. Yep. So stay tuned for that. Jerry, I want to well, first of all, tell us, why does Apple need an R&D division in China? You told me, your department was the first of its kind. Why not just engineer everything out of California?
Right. Because it was almost 10 years ago, 2014, 2015. It was becoming increasingly important. China market was becoming very important for Apple and this whole supply chain. Apple was already building everything, almost everything in China, Foxconn and a few other names, and many more along the supply chain, right? Each engineering build, Apple would send hundreds of engineers from Cupertino to China, and that was not always the most efficient thing to do. Then Apple realized, well, maybe it's a good time to bring up local and R&D and engineering capability. So that was the time they sent me to China to do that.
Interesting. And with the Chinese products out of the Chinese R&D division, any different from the products designed in the US?
Well, not quite the design side of things. I would say Apple is and will always be Cupertino centric when it comes to design and engineering. The team for China is mostly for engineering support at the factory.
Well, let's talk about this development now. OpenAI and Apple joining forces. Tell us, what is going on in more detail here. What are they actually trying to do together, and what kind of products will we expect to roll out?
Yeah, I think this is exciting news. Finally, OpenAI and Apple are coming together. It makes perfect sense for both parties. Apple is not always the first adopter when it comes to leading edge technology. They invest in it, but they typically wait until the technology gets mature and ready to bring into their well-designed product. And what Apple does the best is the product and the UI and all that whole user experience, right? And there's so many obvious benefits with this product integration coming. First, Siri is finally getting smart, right? Just let's face it, no one's really using Siri these days.
Yeah.
This could be the breakthrough, right? You can do so many just automation tasks through Siri to make your life easier. Sending message, scheduling meetings, asking all kinds of questions, right? But that's just the beginning. But beyond that, your data usage pattern already tells a lot about a user, right? That just coupled with OpenAI's general intelligence knowledge, your phone will become 100 times more powerful and more personal. There's so many services that can be tailored to each individual's need, right? I can just see education being a big part of it, productivity enhancement, just so many other services. This is exciting, but potentially dangerous move. But we'll get to that. I see much more benefits.
I see. Well, I use Siri for my Apple CarPlay. Call my friend here. Tell me the weather. So you're saying, OpenAI and ChatGPT could. Well, I don't know if they're going to use ChatGPT, but potentially another product for iOS. That product, whatever that may be, is going to be superior to Siri.
Absolutely, absolutely. And Siri is just the beginning. Siri is supposed to be the smart assistant for your life, but it's not quite there. With the OpenAI, it's Chat.
Oh, sorry.
ChatGPT.
Please continue. Yeah, please continue.
Yeah, it's just much smarter, right? And just I mentioned automation, but you can go much more beyond that. Just and the interface you have with ChatGPT now is mostly through a web, so input words. And what Apple does the best is product integration. Voice is one, but you can do so many more than just that.
Why is Apple not developing Siri into its own AGI?
I'm sure they want it. They had a choice. They probably would prefer doing something in-house in the first place. Apple, like I said earlier, invested into AI and other technologies themselves. But clearly, OpenAI is the market leader right now. I think it just makes sense for Apple to work with the market leader.
You told me offline this is the beginning of the end. What do you mean by that?
Yeah, I mean is finally the timing is right. Technology is mature enough. This is the beginning of the end for AGI to come into people's lives. I don't know if you looked at ChatGPT's latest version 4.0. I think 5 is coming. It's intelligent enough just to be like a real person almost. And the general intelligence is coming. It's coming. And it's coming through Apple products.
Well, I know we're getting technical here. I think it could almost pass the Turing test, which is to say, if someone observed a computer talking with a person, you wouldn't be able to know if it's a person-to-person or machine-to-person interaction, right? So that was the Turing test. But is it advanced enough to qualify for AGI yet? General intelligence, which is just
it's a fun topic. It's debatable. Some say it's already there, but however you define it, however you look at it, it's coming. If not now, maybe 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, who knows down the road? But it's coming definitely within this decade.
Okay, so in a note that you passed to me, you wrote that coupled with OpenAI's general knowledge, your phone will become 100 times more powerful and personal, exciting yet potentially dangerous. What's exciting? Well, exciting, of course, but what's dangerous about it?
Yeah, I actually talked to a few people around just today. Everyone excited about the AI-powered future, right? But everyone's number one concern was data security. Right, your phone knows already so much about you. Now it's 100 times. Well, that's just number. Maybe that's 1,000 times more powerful. But it's so personal, right? It knows so much about you. What if some bad actor get access to these very valuable and personal data? What if the AI can be influencing the general population? So these are some of the AI safety, that's a bigger topic people are talking about. The policymakers are looking into it. All the large models are working on that, right?
Yeah, and also this has the potential to. This is more of more of a personal issue, but it has the potential to erode people's sense of reality. Right, you're talking to an AI all the time. Human to human interaction. What is real, what is not anymore. So that has interesting implications.
Yeah, I see some development about emotional companionship with the AI. Yeah, I can definitely see a future where some people just get overly attached to AI and maybe even losing a sense of reality. So these could be the potential dangerous scenarios.
What is exciting to me is not just Apple, but the ecosystem around Apple that will develop from this. Every time Apple launches a new product that's revolutionary, there's a whole ecosystem of industries around that product, right? Think about all the accessories for iPhone, all the apps built for iPhone, all the third-party technologies for your Mac, for example, right? What will the ecosystem look like around an AI-powered iOS?
hmm Yeah, I think all the applications on your phone that will have the potential to take advantage of the underlying AI capability that become more powerful and smarter. And I want to say another thing is if you go beyond just your iPhone, Apple just released a Vision Pro earlier this year. I don't know if you tried it, David.
Not yet.
It's oh well, do it, try it. It's
Did you work
great.
on that? Was that did you work on that
I
product?
I did some earlier work
Oh wow.
when I was there, but it's taking many years, many
Okay.
generations. But yeah, hard work there.
Yeah, tell us about the vision
Um,
behind the Vision Pro, and I know you're telling you're going to go and say something about
mhm.
the AI with the yeah.
Yeah, because that's Vision Pro. That they call it spatial computer. It's just a whole new computing platform. If after you try it, you'll be like, this has to be the future. It gives you such a realistic and more powerful, much more powerful experience. That I see the potential of integration with AI. You get instant feedback, and it's much more situational. And ultimately, I see this as the next bigger step forward, next stage for Apple. Right, iOS definitely for sure integration there, but watch out for Vision Pro.
Okay, so give us some practical applications of how we can use AI on our iOS, whether it be on a Vision Pro or Apple, or iPhone or your Mac.
Yeah, yeah. I think the recent development is on AI is centered around large language model and generative AI, right? And ChatGTP is already showing the capability there. The general knowledge where you can get instantly. For example, if you go out somewhere, the phone knows where you are, and it's gonna tell you all the information you want. Just before right now you need to search, right? You need to look at a few options, and you maybe click multiple times. But with this integration, ChatGPT integration, you can get it right away. With Vision Pro, it will be even seamless. You don't even feel it. It's there.
It still needs to be voice activated, right?
It doesn't have to be. On the phone, it could be, well, for the most part, it's voice or text. But on Vision Pro, it will just, for example, if you go some place, just in the digital scenario, not the physical location, it's gonna show all the information you want. It's like with some your gesture or even just a blink of eye.
Right, because it has I know OpenAI has image recognition software, so it can tell you just based on looking at something what it is, right? So I could see a sign and then it'll tell me, what that shop is, for example, or
Right.
maybe I can it translate languages in real time? So that's like I go to Japan, I don't read Japanese, but I see a sign, it's going to translate to English in real time. Can I do that?
Exactly. I think they just demoed that in ChatGPT 4.0 recently.
Yeah.
With Italian, but I'm sure they can do it with any other language.
Right. That's very, very cool. Okay. How do you see competitors responding to this?
Yeah, this is a very competitive place. I mean, on the AI provider side, you have three, four big players, Google, Facebook, right? And there's also open source alternatives. And on the device side, on the phone or other devices, of course, Apple has their competitors. Some other phone manufacturers already have the AI powered phones out. I expect this to be a very competitive marketplace in the next few years. Of course, you need to compete on the product integration, on the service level, but like we kind of discussed earlier, the user safety, security is another big area that these players need to compete on. I want basically. I think competition is good, but I do hope that the winner will come from the players with the really good product integration. At the same time, they put the user security and data, safety in a high priority.
So if you were still at Apple's engineering team in China, and this partnership is news right now, how would you design a device that could optimize this partnership? In other words, would you invent or create or improve upon an existing device such that this technology could really solve some of the problems that perhaps older technology could not?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think, again, what Apple does the best is seamless product integration with the best technology, right? You want to build a solid foundational layer, the software and the operation system, OS level, to support the applications. Because very often Apple does not do the applications, but I do see a potential. For example, AI assist, AI agent. We talk about that being emotional companion for people, because right now that would be a very good use case. To give people support, and for people, seniors living alone, they get to use these technology, but it has to be really, really simple to use, right?
How would you use this product?
Personally, I think productivity enhancement. I'm already I honestly advanced user on ChatGPT with this current form. I use it to for my writing and for my technical writing and non-technical wise, and also for some content, other form of content, graphics and video is something we at Artela we wanted to explore that we haven't gone there yet. Yeah.
By the way, I was reading that in the future, it's possible that AI can help you code in plain English. Can you talk about this development? Is that possible? Like, we don't need to learn programming languages anymore. We can just tell computer, basically anybody could build applications and websites using just English or whatever language.
In a way, it's already happening. It does not do very advanced feature and functions yet, but you can engage with ChatGPT with plain English and to have some simple tasks done. Functions like you add these functions, have that design flow. Yeah, it's already happening.
Okay, but it's not it won't replace programming languages completely.
No, not for the advanced features.
I understand. Okay. How is AI being integrated with the blockchain technologies? Is there any integration there so far?
For sure, that's been a very hot topic. People talk about how crypto can or blockchain technology can help AI, or vice versa, how AI can help crypto. A lot of things are like crypto industry taking advantage of AI's capability to do data analysis and some trade optimization, higher level strategy with AI's help. But in future, I see is the interaction between crypto and AI would be centered around digital creations, because what AI does the best is digital abundance. It creates so many new things, right? And what crypto does the best is digital scarcity. I see the intersection where the new business models will come at the intersection of crypto and AI.
Just finishing off on Apple, and I want to talk about Artela for a bit too. How is Apple going to monetize whatever new products this partnership will have? I mean, I'm looking at the stock price; it's up a little bit today, but it didn't skyrocket on the news, right? So I think the market is either still digesting the news or not pricing in a huge valuation ad. So I'm curious to how this will add value to ultimately Apple shareholders?
Well, David, I'm a technologist. I'm not an economist. I don't know about the stock price at that, but what I can say for sure is that this will definitely make the product better, and which in turn will enable new use cases and more adoption.
Well, are they gonna? Do you know if they're going to charge a subscription for this, like ChatGPT 4 with the internet? You have to pay, to access certain features, or is it just seamlessly integrated with iOS at all levels?
I don't see Apple charge a subscription just specifically for AI. It's probably they want to build that into their OS. So fundamentally, AI will be everywhere. It will be able to power all the applications within their iOS ecosystem. Maybe the different applications can charge. They have their new different business models, right?
What is the risk? This is another, wild card risk, but what is the risk that the AI will at some point fully develop into AGI, gain more consciousness, so to speak, and start doing things on its own? Imagine the AI on your computer or your iPhone, sending messages on its own to your contacts without your prompt, unwanted messages, or, performing tasks that you may not have asked it to do, just because maybe it was trained to perform a certain way with a certain pattern, and now it thinks, okay, maybe I should do this and that. How do we put manual limitations to this?
Right. It comes down to product integration. The potential risks are there. What you described, AI just doing something without your permission that turned out to not what you wanted to do. That definitely could happen. It's just to what degree it will affect your life and work. And I think it's a big topic. I don't know if even Apple has all the answers right now, or OpenAI. I think it's something they need to work together and figure out. And it's all in the details, right? AI. I think AI you think AI knows everything, but it knows nothing. It just predicts word after word. If you look at the large language model, right, it does not really. It seems like it knows everything, but it's not. So, how do you design a product to fully take advantage of it? There's so many details to work on.
Does it fully understand the language it's processing, or is it just reacting to patterns and programming?
Well, it comes down to definition. I don't think the awareness or the consciousness is there. Maybe in future. I think right now is just a prediction and the statistics and well, it seems intelligent enough.
All right. Well, let's talk about your current work. You transitioned from Apple into the blockchain sector. Tell us about that transition and what you're working on now.
Yeah. After Apple, I actually went work for Ant Financial, and I led the blockchain division within Ant Financial. We grew that part of business to about $200 million a year, pretty significant. Blockchain is another interesting new technology, digital technology that's coming, but it's not as mature as AI. You don't hear Apple adopting a blockchain technology. So that's probably going to take a few more years or even longer to get to mass adoption. But it's an exciting field where I mentioned the digital scarcity. I think financial applications would definitely be the first industry that blockchain can revolutionize. And just globally right now, the financial the use cases are just so many. You can just reinvent everything in finance with blockchain technology. So that's so clear.
Well, give us an example or a few examples of how the regular consumer's life will be improved if blockchain was implemented into everyday finance.
Right. So it's starting with payments, right? It's mobile. Yeah, a mobile payment can do so much for people's lives already. But imagine you can just go anywhere in the world where the underlying financial industries, financial infrastructure is all connected with blockchain in a permissionless way. You just have a lot of freedom to control what you have and what you can bring to each country, to how to transact with the people just freely. And blockchain is underlining fundamental technology. it's not something people will see much. It's really the services on top of it enables, right? And then just being able to transact in a permissionless way and freely with anyone in the world is a powerful situation.
And tell us a little bit more about Artela Network. Well, what is it? What is it? And
Yeah,
what is the product that you're working on? Yeah.
right. So we are working on the fundamental base layer blockchain, just to get to. We want to bring blockchain technology's capability to Web 2 level, to really service millions of users. If you look at today's blockchain, both performance. If you look at TPS, Bitcoin is like 7, Ethereum is like 15, and some of the newer ones are better, but not quite for mass adoption. So we want to improve on blockchain's performance itself, and we also want to make the blockchain services to be more modular and easier to integrate with other technologies, including AI. So that's going to happen in the future.
Interesting. Okay. Jerry, have you ever met Steve Jobs?
Yeah, I was fortunately enough to work in the earlier days, at Apple. So with him a few times. Yeah.
Okay. What was he like?
Oh yeah, he was still very much involved in product decisions. Remember, was one famous scene where he pulled out the first generation MacBook Air out of that yellow envelope on stage. I actually worked on that project. I was backstage with him. I was the tech lead of the first generation MacBook Air. He was just a visionary, and he was also very detail oriented when it comes to the product. For example, he really pushed the team to bring the weight of that product down to under 3 pounds. I remember that was like the line he drew, and
okay,
yeah, we wanted to get there. Yeah.
But there's rumors or criticism that the ideas were not his original ideas. He was just marketing. Is that there's any truth to that?
Maybe during some earlier version, even
Okay.
if you just go back, maybe 30 years ago. But
there's also another criticism that
vision.
Yeah, there's also another criticism that after Steve Jobs left, Apple hasn't come out with a completely revolutionary idea. It's just you see complaints on the internet, right? People complaining, oh, another iPhone, another 14, 15, 16, whatever the number is. It's just iteration after iteration, but there's no new, like completely new product, right? How would you respond to that?
Well, Apple Watch was supposed to be a big new generational product for Apple, but maybe it's not quite there at the level of iPhone. I'm very excited about the Vision Pro. I see VR, MR technology being just something that's going to be even maybe more than what iPhone can do.
What's the future of the Vision Pro? Like, it's going to be slimmer, faster, smaller.
Yeah,
have a heads-up display, whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, I think the future one should be lighter. This right now, this one is like a little heavy. After like 20, 30 minutes, you just feel like your neck hurts, right? But lighter for sure, and better resolution, just smarter, all that, and more content, more services. So that's currently lacking, but eventually, give it 5 years. I'm certain it will get there, and it will get to the level of iPhone.
Is Apple interested in investing in the metaverse? Is that a sector that you were thinking about?
Metaverse is the word that people don't use much anymore. But maybe it's metaverse mixed with the reality. Maybe mixed MR is the right word. That you wear that device, but you can navigate through your life as well. You can just switch back into the digital life or the back and forth with the physical world.
Do you have any advice for young students or even just young people studying engineering or even business who want to break into tech? I know the product manager role is very sought after. I know obviously engineer jobs at big tech companies like Apple are sought after. They're very difficult positions to get, right? What would you suggest would be the route to take to get a job at Apple, for example, in engineering or product design or product management?
Well, I think first you have to be really good at what you do. engineering or product management or whatever the job requires, right? You have to be really, really good because these companies, they hire the best in the world, right? That there's that. And specifically for engineering students or young professionals, my thinking is that, you want to maybe have a little longer view of into the future, right? It's not what's hot today. It's what's coming next. You probably want to pay attention to that and maybe invest yourself knowledge wise and your just get ready for what's coming next. I think that's how what got me here. So always look out to the new things.
Do they prefer a specific school of engineering, electrical or software or computer science or mechanical? Doesn't matter.
Well, I think these tech companies are similar in a way. Well, they typically hire for new graduates, typically hire out of the good schools. But after a few years, it's more about the experience, the fit. It's not necessarily education. That's only part of it.
Okay. And for the business students who want to go into product management, I know a lot of MBAs from top MBA schools, they go into tech. Is it how much technical knowledge do they actually need? How much coding and engineering do they actually, need?
Well, yeah, if it's a non-tech role, you don't have to be that technical. For sure, not everyone at Apple or Google codes, but you have some general understanding of engineering or technology, of course, helps. But it just comes back to what they are looking for out of this position and out of you, right? You really have to be good at what's expected there. So I would say that's number one.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you very much for your update, Jerry. Where can we learn more about your work right now?
Yes, Artela Network is our website, and we are in public test phase, and we're going to mainnet later this year.
Okay, good. Well, I look forward to your update. Come back on my show. We'll talk about it. Thank you very much.
All right. Thanks, David.
Thank you for
Appreciate it.
Yeah, and thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe.